All right. Let me grab my notes. There's that. There's that. This is the approval. Where's my robot notes? Where's my robot notes?
Finding his robot notes, folks.
Dang it. Oh, maybe it's in the printer. No?
Still can't find his
Maybe
robot notes.
I can just use my phone. But I
Okay.
printed them out. I love circling stuff and crossing stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what I mean. Oh well. I'll just go off the phone.
Okay. All right.
Sorry
I'm just
to
gonna
look at my
start this
phone.
up. Oh,
Oh, there it is. I
you
knew I
found
had
it.
it just right.
Okay. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I stopped. Started. Oh, stop.
That's fine. Well, we can just clap, right?
Well, I stopped. Can you
Okay.
just go back to 0?
Yep. I'm there.
Sorry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, clack. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. Welcome everybody to the bonus disc.
What up? I'm trying to say it like a robot.
What up? Shut up.
Get up.
Get it. Max and Jinx.
Okay. A long promised episode.
Yep.
And this is probably one that we've said like 10 times, like, we gotta do Perfect Robot.
Yeah.
And I think that because we did Return of the Jedi and there are so many droids in that one, right? I felt like this would be a
Yeah.
great follow-up
Totally.
to our Return of the Jedi episode. What we're gonna do here, kind of similar to Perfect Cracker. Oh, by the way, I thought of a sequel to Perfect Cracker. Perfect Cracker 2: Perfect Chip. I wouldn't want to call it
Awesome.
Perfect Chip. I would want to that full title, which
Yeah.
makes almost no sense.
Perfect ship. Yeah, so it's like
Perfect Cracker
this
2: Perfect Chip.
a podcast called Perfect Cracker, but yeah. Oh, that is brilliant. I love it.
So this one is Perfect Movie Robot.
Uh-huh.
And similar to Perfect Cracker, we're just going to talk about some of our favorite robots, movie robots, and then try to decide together. I don't know if we're going to be able to agree, honestly,
Who's the
but
best?
maybe each of us, maybe to release some pressure, we can each at the end, after we've talked through some of these robots, figure out which is the perfect robot for me.
For me, which one do I like? Like what would be like the one that you wish was at your house?
Oh, I see. I
The
think
one that
it's
you
just
wish you had?
the one I love the most, I think, is what it's going to end up being.
Okay, great. I love it. I love it.
That's probably annoying to some people. Like, shouldn't you have some sort of like rules? I mean, I
Right.
suppose we could have like, which one, like, if you put two in a ring, which one would win?
Right.
I don't really want to do that because then my favorite robot wouldn't get to the end.
Yeah, because if you could do
Well,
like
maybe
fights, like who would beat who. I don't think.
robot fights. Yeah.
I mean, so what are some characteristics? I mean, useful.
Useful. I would say aesthetic, the
Oh,
way they
okay.
look.
Yep.
Um, Tude. I like an attitude with the
Dude.
I don't. Well, I was gonna say I don't love a rude dude, but I do sometimes love a rude dude in a robot,
Yep.
especially.
Okay. Like maybe comic effect oftentimes.
Yeah, yep. I would say if there's some sort of emotional connection, and I'm not just talking
Mm,
about my emotional connection, but if there's emotional connection with other characters in the movie they're in, or kind of like they've really hit the emotion of the culture. I don't know.
right.
Um, I like a robot with emotion. I really do.
Okay.
So maybe I'm laying my cards out, but um
Motions chip.
yeah, any other like
I wrote
categories of
like lovable, useful,
I see
aesthetic,
lovable.
tude, comedy, emotional connection. I mean, and then of course there's always nostalgia, which I
Uh
feel like
yes.
I see on my list. Okay, hold
Uh,
on. Let me look at my list here.
Now you made a list. I made a list. We have not seen each other's lists. I did not. I purposely did not share my note that I was
Oh yeah,
typing on.
perfect. This is the cleanest. It's one piece of paper and it's all black and white. It looks so clean. This is the best notes I've ever had.
But you do have your pen at the ready so that you can make little crossings, outs, and circles
Yep.
and stuff, and underline multiple times.
Right.
I have what might be a controversial pitch to you
Okay.
in order to, speaking of perfect cracker, to colon perfect chip, to maybe make a sequel to this episode called Perfect Movie Robot colon Perfect Android. So in that case,
Oh
we
wow.
we disqualify androids from this conversation. So anything with the human face.
A humanoid. Okay, so let me look here. I mean, of course, the perfect robot then is discontinued.
Well,
Hold on. Do I?
I have him number one on my disqualified to put into the, so I don't think I can list these or else that would waste content.
Right. Okay. So perfect android. I mean that's fine. That's totally fine. So I'm gonna cross him or her out.
I have hers on my Android list too. That would have to be
There's a
crossed out.
her. There's a number of hers. His and hers. But like the ultimate. I mean, there is. Yeah, we don't need to spoil it.
I
There
won't
is the
name that ultimate that
android.
both of us are thinking about, but what
Right.
like an example of this would be like all the alien at the androids from the Alien movies.
Right. So Ash,
Ash, Bishop,
Bishop. Yep.
David.
The David.
Oh, I
I
friggin' love David. This is the problem. Like, if
yeah.
we include androids, this episode will never end.
Okay, totally fine. So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I had some androids on my list, and it did make me think. It did make me think like, what is a robot?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I've even said this before on the appliance rumble, which is we live in the era of the Jetsons where we finish dinner and robots do all the work for us. We've got a Roomba, we've got a dishwasher, you know,
Right.
we've got the
So,
crock pot and the
yeah.
hot pot and the pressure cooker, whatever it's called.
So those things you're listing right now are closer to what I think of when I think of a movie robot.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I hope that it has a human face helps people understand what I mean when I say android.
Yes. So an android is something like the person that we're talking about. Well, no, that's not true. So Ash, for example, we didn't know. Spoiler alert: Alien 1977.
If you're a Gomer fan, you've already heard the episode where we spoil that Ash, I mean, just the best part of Alien, I think, which is you don't even realize that there's
Yeah,
this amazing thing happening behind the scenes, and
I wish I could see
Bilbo
that again.
Baggins himself.
Uh-huh. Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
The mountains,
Um.
Gandalf.
So I think that would be an amazing sequel, and also that
Great.
gives us more content.
I love it.
We can come back next year at this time after we've done episode one, partner to Phantom
Turner to
Menace.
Turner to Phantom Menace. Perfect. I love
Okay,
it.
great. Even though I don't think there's any androids in that movie, still.
There
Maybe
aren't many
maybe if we
androids
do
in
another android movie, then we
Star
can
Wars.
pull this in.
Okay. Yeah.
If we do maybe
Absolutely.
Blade Runner someday,
Wow.
that would be
Yep.
so awesome. Okay. All right. The one kind of like, is that an android or is that a robot? Is the good robot us's from Bill and Ted?
Oh man. Okay, so I've got that
Are
down.
they are
Good
they
robot
androids?
us's. So I think that they're robots. I
Me
think
too.
they're for
Okay,
sure
great. I
robots.
I am loving this because we are locked in. I agree. Those good robot us's have robot in the title.
Right. Okay, so I think an android you could confuse them for a human.
You would never ever confuse the good robot us's
Right.
or Bill and Ted.
Aren't they like made out of Legos or something? They look like bricks.
I would say Keanu Reeves and Bill, what's his name?
Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Alex
Oh,
Winter are
yeah,
not
yeah.
inside those guys because they're
Mm,
always together on screen.
right.
They just kind of have like metal around their faces that look like those guys' faces.
Yeah.
Robots.
Yep.
Now, Good Robot Us's are not on my list of possible perfect robots. I love them, and I think they're
They're
really funny. But
they're just worthy of talking about. Good Robot Us is like one of the funniest 3 words in any movie. Or the Good Robot Us's. Like that's just so
nation's
genius.
most bodacious creation, the Good Robot Us's.
And like that guy's name is Station.
And they were trying to get that, I think, in the vernacular as like something cool to say, like station.
Station.
Okay, so that's good. We talked about Good Robot Us's. They're not on my favorites. I have a
Right.
bunch of other honorable mentions that aren't on my faves. Do you?
Okay. Well,
Okay, he's
yeah,
got
actually
the pen
tell me
out.
about some. Okay, so let's go with honorable mentions because everyone I wrote down is my favorite.
Okay, all right. Let me just list some honorable mentions.
None of these are honorable. They're all amazing.
I know another way this is like Perfect Cracker, which
Yeah.
we were like, ooh, actually no, Wheat Thins. That is my favorite.
Wheat Thins are so good, but remember
They
the
are
perfect,
Ritz.
the perfect cracker. I'm
Yeah,
putting
we know
on
the
my shirt
perfect
jacket,
cracker.
by the way. It's cold in here.
Oh wow. Ooh, I like
I'm
that.
putting-
Handsome. Handsome.
Putting on my shirt jacket.
Shirt jacket. What's that mean?
Shacket?
Is this a Lululemon thing?
No,
It
no,
is.
no. This
Oh.
is no. I'm sure they have them there.
Is
No,
this
is just-
is this something you'd wear to perform? Oh no, I see what you mean. A shirt jacket.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I've got
it's
one of
just like
those.
a shirt, but it's cold. It's cold in
Yeah.
here though. You want me to send
Handsome
you
for
one?
sure. Okay. Here's what I mean by honorable mention.
Okay.
The batteries not included robots. I love those
Okay.
guys.
Yeah, I mean they were
But they're
cute.
not gonna make the
Yeah.
faves.
No. But I mean, I remember liking, not loving that movie even as a kid.
Yep. It's not a great movie. It is, I think it's nice to watch as an 80s movie, similar to like Cocoon.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
mean, they have a lot of the same actors in it too.
is it a that guy movie?
What do you mean by that?
Or is it Spielberg?
No, those are both Spielberg produced, I think.
Wait, but are they who's the guy I'm thinking of? Uh Andy Opie. Andy Opie. Sorry. Opie.
Oh,
Ron
Ron
Howard.
Howard. He did Cocoon, but
He
not
did
Batteries Not. I think Joe Dante did Batteries Not Included, the Gremlins director. And they're all and he
okay.
is a Spielberg protege.
Got it. Okay, I see that.
Okay.
Okay. There were some funny scenes though. The exploding of things and
Yeah.
kind of some cute, kind of
Yeah, some cute
gremlinsy
stuff. Yeah, it is Gremlinsy. Yeah, but not. I mention them because I like them, but I don't love them.
Yeah.
I really like Baymax from
Oh yeah.
Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
But I neither have much nostalgia for him. I think the aesthetic on him is incredible
Yeah.
because he's an inflatable robot. I
Uh-huh.
really dig that about him, so I like him, but he's not on my faves.
Okay.
I like Johnny Cab from Total Recall. Remember the cab
Yeah.
driver robot?
You should almost put up some of these pictures, dude. If
Oh,
you
I
want.
wish I should have had all these at the ready. Johnny
Yeah.
Cab's great. I don't know if did you ever see Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I actually didn't.
Okay, there's a depressed robot played by Alan Rickman in that movie that is
Really?
so friggin' funny, and one of Alan Rickman's best performances, and his aesthetic is so awesome. But
oh man.
here maybe you can look him up. His name's Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He looks so cool, and I actually think it might be Alan Rickman inside him. And it's Zoe Deschanel. And speaking of The Hobbit, what's his face?
Yep.
Tim from The Office. It's a really weird, fun movie, and the robot's the best part. But he's not
Okay.
on my faves.
Okay. I'm trying
then-
to look it up.
This one might be controversial. I love Eve. Eva.
Eva. Yep.
but she's not going to make my faves because of another precious to me robot that is in my
Aw. Aw.
faves.
Okay, got it.
I just don't think they can. Well, that doesn't work because there are other robots in my faves that occupy the same space.
The same movie.
Yeah, I just needed to get Eva out of there, or else she would. The benefit of putting Eva in my faves is that I have at least one girl robot. Otherwise, it's a sausage party in my faves.
A cyber sausage party.
Cyber sausage. Like
Okay.
a
Oh, so
hard drive.
sorry, I'm finally found. Oh wait, no, that's Warwick Davis is in this. Wait. So there also like a big metal this thing?
That's him. That's Marvin.
Oh,
Warwick
that's him.
Davis is inside it, and that's even better. Warwick Davis is inside it, and it's Alan Rickman's voice.
Okay, brilliant. All right, I need to see this.
Yeah,
I
it
never
is
saw
a-
that movie. Why
It is a
not?
truly weird British sense of humor movie that I love.
Okay, great.
And it's got all the British actors in it besides Zooey Deschanel, who's American on purpose. So,
Right. American and adorable.
right, exactly. Okay. Otherwise, bro, I agree with you. When I look at the rest of my list, they're all my favorite. And
Everyone
I don't know how this is going to work. So I just named a bunch of them. I'm wondering if maybe you can now start
Got it.
throwing out some that either, I mean, you could either do some honorable mentions or you can just start throwing some out.
Okay, well, I'm
That
gonna
are-
cross out. I'm gonna cross out Ash.
Okay.
I'm gonna cross out the Last Starfighter.
I have the
Guy.
doppelganger from Last Starfighter in there here too.
See,
Gross.
It's funny.
It's gross when he pulls the blanket back and you see it growing. You know what I mean? Do you remember that part?
Yeah, that dude. Scarring moments from our youth.
Noah and Jack cried when they saw that. It was the only movie they've ever
Oh.
cried at.
Oh no, the Last Starfighter.
They've never finished Last Starfighter and they're 18 and 20 years old.
Yeah, I mean, Last Starfighter is, in many ways, it doesn't quite hit, but I still love it.
Why hasn't it been rebooted? Have we talked about this? Why is there no
No,
new Last Starfighter?
I don't know. Like, it's got the dude. Can we get that option for a movie? Can the two Gomers resurrect that?
Yeah, if anybody makes that, you owe us money.
Yeah,
Nobody's thought of it, I'm sure.
but I mean, it's got the Tron vibe where like the
Yep.
original Tron vibe where it's like bad computer generated effects
Doesn't
that
look
were
good.
actually,
Yeah.
but I do love it. But I mean, it doesn't look. Yeah.
Well, I'll
What were
tell
they
you why
thinking?
probably you love it is because it's just a regular guy who finds out he's the best at something and
Yeah,
he saves the
right.
world. You love that.
My
crap.
story. But I am looking at this list. 1, 2. Okay, we're not doing good. Okay, Good Robot Us's. Cross those out. Last Starfighter. Cross that out. Almost everything is from the 80s.
Okay.
Almost
Interesting.
every. I mean, that's why I was wondering. Why?
I've got
'cause
five
I mean,
that aren't from the 80s on my list.
let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that aren't from the 80s.
Okay. I probably have one that you don't have on it. Maybe.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that a lot of these are going to be shared. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanna just name one? And I'm probably gonna go, oh.
They're all sacred.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who to name first. I'm
Just
really
what's
struggling.
What's at the top of the page?
Okay. Let me give you a good non-sacred. Okay,
Great.
so this is a movie that I really liked
Uh-huh.
called Robot and Frank.
I was wondering if you'd mention this. I've never seen it still, and I should see this, right?
Yes. So Aaron and I, we watched clips and the trailer 2 nights ago.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's Frank Langella.
As part of your prep from this episode, I'm assuming.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Robert and Frank?
Robot and Frank.
Robot and Frank, of course.
I mean, like I was like, Aaron, do you remember when we went and saw that and we watched the trailer? And she's like, no, you saw that by yourself. And she's like, this is totally a movie that you would like. Uh, because, like, first of all, robots in the title.
Yeah.
Frank Langella. I mean, just look at you should look at the IMDb movie poster.
I saw it when I was doing some research for this app, and I was
Okay.
like, I think Anthony's seen that, and I haven't. Weird.
Totally weird.
Okay.
I really liked it. Susan Sarandon,
Mm.
Liv Tyler, Frank
Stepmother
Langella,
herself.
James Marsden.
Mhm. Stepmom, right? Stepmom, is that her?
Yep.
What?
Stepmom.
Not stepmother. Okay, stepmom.
Right. Stepmom. So I remember really liking that one.
Okay.
There was another one that Erin told me about. Hold on. Let me find where she texted it to me. Because we watched the trailer for this one and we were laughing super hard. Oh yeah. Brian and Charles.
What's with these movies that are just two guys' names?
Yeah, I know. Robot and Frank and Brian. So Brian and Charles is like, again, we just watched the trailer.
Yeah.
But it's like this British kind of like inventor guy in rural Wales.
Okay.
And he just likes to make stuff.
Man,
and so he
sounds
makes this
amazing.
robot
Okay.
out of a washing machine.
How
and,
old
like,
is
puts-
this movie?
It's new. It's like 2022.
Oh, okay. Huh. Did you ever see Finch with Tom Hanks and a dog and a robot?
Didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
The robot is fun in that one. But
Okay.
and actually it did kind of connect with me emotionally. I think it helped that there was a dog also. And
Well, I
also
mean-
Tom Hanks.
I know it's fallen in the cracks if I don't watch very many things these
Yeah.
days, or like ever. And when I do, it's like Seinfeld over and over again.
It's not very memorable to me.
So that's not a good
that's
sign.
not a great sign. Nope, you're right.
But
Yeah.
Tom Hanks plus a yellow robot, a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
And it's
everything I like.
post-apocalyptic.
And post-apocalyptic, like, is it? It's what's it called when the future is bad?
Yeah, what is it called?
Like
Star.
that's like
no, I
my
can't-
favorite genre.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember right now, and I'm embarrassed. So let's move
It
on.
starts with a D. Starts with a D.
I'll figure it out as it'll come
Okay.
to us probably.
Well, it's probably our top favorite robot, dystopian.
That's it. Dystopian future.
Dystopian future.
Yep.
Takes place in a dystopian future. Actually, lots of robots take place in So that's why Robot and Frank was cool, because it was kind of like now.
Okay.
It was like it's like maybe 20 to 50 years from now. It was like
It
rooted
looks like one of those
now.
Honda robots. You know those Honda robots?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yep.
I mean, his son pulls up in a Audi and gets it
Mhm.
out of his trunk because his dad's living alone. He's getting older, and so
Okay.
it's kind of like a butler.
Okay. And
To
they
help
form a
take-
relationship.
Yep, he like it's like, because I do feel like robot movies can
Mhm.
be what's the dog boy and his dog or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
or
or
pal.
kid and their monster, that kind of thing. Yep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so Robot and Frank is kind of like that.
Mhm.
Where he refuses the call. I don't need that. Then he figures out the robot could actually be useful for some of his schemes.
And then they form a friendship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean,
So-
I love it. I want to watch this movie
And
right now.
best part, hour and 29 minutes.
There's a Steven-shaped cloud of dust right now where I ran out.
Like a Steven-sized hole in the side of the wall.
The hat that I was wearing is spinning in midair.
Yeah.
Okay, let me name one.
Okay.
All of my robots are movies that you've seen, I guarantee. I just
Okay.
know deep in so, but this one I think is the one that you've seen that was the newest to you, and that is My Very Bestest Friend, The Iron Giant. So
Oh.
talk about aesthetic. Joe Johnston designed.
Yup. From the Rocketeer, right?
Yep. Vin Diesel voiced.
So perfect.
If there's one that emotionally connects with me, it's this bad boy. He's not a bad boy. He's good. I mean, he
He's
is
a good
bad, but he
boy.
turns good.
Yep.
And just if you want to hear my most carefully edited episode ever is that Iron Giant episode where I'm talking about the end and
Oh,
how
I
it
loved it.
just blasts me out of my seat every time I watch it with pure emotion. When you think this
Mm.
guy's dead and he is resurrected at
Yeah.
the end with an incredible score. The visuals are amazing. I love this movie. Another 70-minute movie,
Mm-hmm.
and not nostalgia for me. It's new nostalgia because it's
Right.
the movie that my boys love that we watched over and over again.
Yeah.
So Iron Giant is definitely, and his name is just Giant, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Hogarth Hughes calls him. He's funny, he's cute, he's huge, he's fun, he's great, he's nice,
Perfect
he's
design.
self-sacrificial.
Yep. And he's in Tim Keller's top 5 movies.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he also looks like Tim Keller.
So I love him, Iron Giant. So that's an example of a non-80s robot.
Okay. I had him on my list also.
Okay, great.
And I love Hogarth also. We say
Mm-hmm.
Hogarth to each other almost every day.
Hug.
Like, so now in our family, we don't say oh gosh.
Okay.
We just say Hogarth. So like
funny.
if something happens where when you'd be like, oh dang it, or like, oh gosh, we just go like Hogarth.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like
just-
it. It's like a parallel rhyme, right? Yeah,
Yep.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
It fits. I love
Man.
the Iron Giant. Okay, my only strike for the Iron Giant is he's so big.
So I knew this was going to be a knock against him. He's so big,
Uh-huh.
and I can't deny his size. And I understand he's not necessarily. I find him quite cute,
Yep.
but from a distance, you
Yeah.
got to get far away from this guy to say that's a cute guy.
Uh-huh. You
can't hug him really.
Yeah, he's sort of impractical in that sense.
Yep, he's hard to. Where are you going to put this guy? If he comes to live with you, where's he going to live? You got to have
Right.
a barn.
Uh-huh. You got to live in the country.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, I hear that. All right, your turn. Name a robot.
Okay. Oh boy.
Every one of these is eating the frog. So
Yes, you're right. Every single one is eating the frog. All right, I'm gonna go with the one that's on my desk, dude.
let me see him or her. Hey, I'm gonna show you. He's on my desk too.
Oh,
Wally.
Wally. Oh,
Wally.
that is a great. I have that, as you know, and it's in a
Yep.
box over in my closet. That inspires me to get that.
You gotta
back
free him.
out.
Doesn't that disturb you when you think about it? Aren't you sad about him being in a box?
Yeah,
Don't you feel
you're
guilty?
No, is all that green stuff? Is that like that? Oh wait.
Oh,
does
this
he
is
have
this
Luigi's
is
hat?
this is my Luigi hat that I got at Universal Studios. This
Okay.
flower is part of the kit.
Yeah,
He has a little flower.
I didn't recognize that hat. So I was like, does he have?
This is a hat that I just put on him because I think it makes him look cute. This guy is.
Aw.
I mean, if he can't get any cuter.
Right. I just okay. So Wally is, first of all, incredible score. Love the way it looks, sounds, feels. It's the last movie my grandma Churchill ever saw.
So we're digging deep into nostalgia for you here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is
I
where
mean,
it begins, folks.
So what was she, 97? We
Uh-huh.
took her to the movies. It
Wow.
took her 20 minutes to get from the parking lot to the movie because
Uh-huh.
we had a walker. And
Yep.
so we walked so slow, so great. And got her some snacks,
Mm-hmm.
went in, watched Wally. She really liked it, I think.
Yeah.
I actually can't even really remember.
As much as she could, probably at 97. Sure.
Right, I think she was just like a little bit like, what have you taken me to? Just a little bit. But we can romanticize it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember it being a fantastic memory,
Okay.
being so fun. And then this is the first or one of the first movies we ever watched with our firstborn, Lily.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Was it also a frequent rewatch for the girls?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Out
for my boys too.
there, Da da
Mhm.
da 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 dee, da da. I mean, if you turned on Wally right now
Mhm.
with a dee da da dee da dee da da
Mhm.
do ee da da do dee do ee da da
I
da da da,
must watch.
like right the and then like dee da 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 dee da 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 ba da da,
Mhm.
and then oh,
And then
if I were to
and
watch,
then it fades into that Starfield, right? I
yep,
mean, so 20 minutes no dialogue, right?
yep,
In that movie. More than
except for
that?
Ben
40
Burt,
minutes?
Ben
Yep.
Burt,
Ben Burt's who will return in this conversation
yep,
obviously, but um I that was a transcendent movie going experience to me in the theater.
yep,
Um because it was still like, when is Pixar gonna mess up?
right,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, Bugs Life wasn't great, but they rebounded huge with Toy Story 2, and then just like weird idea after weird idea from then with Monsters Inc. and um Ratatouille, where you're like, a rat
yep.
that cooks, how's that going to be good? And it was incredible. And then Wally's in the mix, which is like, he looks like Johnny Five. Sorry
Yep,
to name another robot that is going to come up later, but he
yep,
looks a little bit too similar to Johnny Five when you just see him.
right,
How are they going to make this good? And it is top to bottom,
yep.
like, astounding, this movie.
It's so glorious. It's so heartwarming.
It
I just,
it's
uh,
like romantic somehow.
yep,
Oh, gosh, environmentally aware. It's got great
yep,
messages about like being like it's got good nutrition
uh huh.
and sedentary lifestyle lessons.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean, we think about Wally all the time in
oh
that
yeah,
respect.
yep.
Like, oh man, I'm just becoming Wally, like
Hmm.
just sucking down a smoothie and
Just
like just
riding
sitting
around in a
around
chair.
watching screens.
Yep. But
Um,
still, the white hot center of that movie is that robot.
yep, yep. So the White Hot Center, and the reason that we're talking about him is
Hmm.
the person himself. I mean, he's useful. He's dedicated. He's
Cute.
got a job and he keeps doing it.
Yep.
Right, even though nobody's doing it anymore. Like he's not trying to impress anybody until he
Hmm.
meets Eva.
Hmm.
Um,
Um.
I love his stick to itiveness and his resourcefulness,
Yeah.
where his treads,
The
are
treads are a
broken.
great move. Yep.
He sees another one. He's like, "Oh, I'll take that guy's treads."
Yeah. You're right.
I,
Resourceful. He's got gumption. This guy.
yeah, totally. He's got gumption.
Now, I had an intern one time, and we were talking about who is our hero,
Hmm.
and this guy was pretty deadpan, and he just said Wally, and I was like, why? And he's like, just I've just got my head down, doing my work, looking for the love of my life.
Wow, that is
I was
like a
like, bro,
perfect line, dude. That
I
is
know.
so. Was that a college student,
He was just out of college.
but still single?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's
And
perfect.
he kept his head down, did what he's supposed to do, and he found the love of his life. So
Okay, now
Wally is great.
Eva
Hmm.
also rules, and I
And
have
just the
her.
different aesthetic. Oh, you've got an Eva too?
Yep, I
Like,
got
look
Eva
at the
there.
different, like, the opposites attract, right? Just her
Yeah.
kind of like egg shape. She's got a different personality than him. And when they are flying around in space together,
Mm,
him with the fire extinguisher
yep.
and that score,
Yeah.
that's movies right there. That is
Yep.
movies.
That's movies. Thomas Newman,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Garland's genius in it.
Mm-hmm.
2001: A Space Odyssey used is perfect.
Sigourney Weaver voice,
Sigourney Weaver
like,
voice, perfect.
everything. Perfect
Yep.
movie. I'm
Love it.
shocked we haven't done it yet. We've got to do it soon.
Yep.
Okay. Wally. Okay, my turn. Uh oh boy. See, now I don't know. I'm gonna have to go Tars at this point because Like
Whoa.
I think from here on are kind of like sacred cows.
This is
Now
is it possible that like robots in movies are our favorite thing?
that's quite possible. I mean, for me, it's robots and trains. Those are
Robots,
my top
trains,
two favorite things in movies in all film.
and scores.
Yeah,
Uh
I think maybe trains and robots are higher for me. I don't know. Maybe score. Um,
right, but so why is Tars and Case,
Case and Tars.
why are they so freaking awesome?
I don't know, but I think I told this story on Interstellar episode was when I came out of that movie, Alex was coming out of that movie too on a different part of the country,
Yep.
and we called each other and we were like, "Can you believe Tars?
Hmm.
Can you believe what they did in this movie?" And it's like we shouldn't like him. He's a big wall,
Yep.
a big box, like a big Amazon box, a big like
Yeah.
coffin almost. Like what
Yep.
is this guy?
Like he's the form factor of a photon torpedo except rectangular.
That's good. You're
You
right.
know?
He does look like some sort of probe from Star Trek. You know, they
or
love their
like
probes.
or like two or like lay down like four pieces of iron
That's
from
it.
like you know the foundation of your house,
Yeah,
you know?
those iron bars that those guys are sitting on in
Yeah.
that picture.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's his aesthetic. Boy, oh boy. You told me I say that a lot, and you're right. It
Yep.
works for me. It's the voice that it's not a robot voice.
Yeah.
I mean, Tars is almost an android character because of the voice.
Right. He's humanoid,
Mm-hmm.
maybe actually
In his
no.
vocal, in he's
Okay,
audio humanoid, but
there's one, yeah.
not visually.
Right. I
Um,
think it's yeah, the design is so different than anything you've ever seen.
and that's what Alex and I were saying. Like,
Yeah.
this is a robot we have never seen before, not because it has more parts
Right.
or it
Right.
looks weirder. It is just not anything you'd ever think to make. And so, good job, Nolan. Like, and then it surprises you throughout the movie. Maybe that's what another reason why he's so great, that he actually does have function in his form, because he
Right.
changes form, especially that they told me not to say spread eagle, but that one part where he goes spread eagle, he looks like an asterisk and he is racing around that planet.
Yeah. Like and he's got his arms out
Uh-huh.
carrying what's her
Anne
name?
Hathaway.
Carrying Anne Hathaway while spinning like a madman through a water planet. That
And
shot,
you can't believe what you're seeing.
yeah, you're like, how did they do that? And
It
how did
looks
they
like a
think of that?
practical effect, doesn't it?
Yep. Oh, it does.
Is it?
Okay, so
Is it a practical effect?
I
I guess it
actually
says
would
something that I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah. He is
Let's see.
practical a lot in that movie, which I think also is important in a live action robot, that most of the time the robot is practical.
Yep. Okay, I totally agree. As opposed to something you would paint in. Um
Yeah, yep. Like that's why probably I would never put the Roger robots in my top, because
yeah.
they're CGI. And it's too
Yep.
easy, man. That's too easy. I got to see the effort
Yeah,
that
you
goes
want to
into this
see
robot.
the texture.
Yep.
So I just looked up who designed Tars,
Yeah, who did?
and I mean this is just a rabbit hole. People ask, how realistic is Tars? Was Tars in CGI? Was Tars CGI? How did they film Tars? Why was Tars designed that way? I'm
All
like, I want to
questions that
read
I have.
all of this. Okay,
All
so
deep questions within me.
I know it's like, okay, so this is from Wired. It says, "That's a box." Quote. Well, it's true. Nolan's intelligent machines, which he dreamed up with production designer Nathan Crowley,
Okay.
look for all the universe like slabs of metal. The main bot named Tars, which doesn't stand for anything, might as
Which
well
I
be a
love.
distant cousin of 2001's Monolith.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. It does look
That
like the monolith. Now, Monolith
That's
is
cool, dude.
not a robot necessarily.
Right.
Monolith, you don't quite know what Monolith is.
You never know
But
what it is.
I'm just realizing another robot that I forgot to add, which is Hal from 2001.
Okay. So that's okay. So I had the Flight of the Navigator robot,
Max.
Max, and like I was thinking about robots that that are vehicles.
Robots that are
So
vehicles.
like
Oh, I thought of another one, which is canon, but I don't think about this much. That actually the Millennium Falcon is a robot then.
Yep. From
'Cause-
Solo,
Right,
the
Solo.
Star Wars story.
Yep, that female robot who I really like. I can't remember her name, but she's played by Indiana Jones. lady.
K2SO? No.
Not K2SO. I'm talking about the hippie
Oh yeah.
woman
Yup.
robot who's in love with Lando.
Yep.
And her intelligence goes into the Falcon.
Yep.
So
Genius.
technically, the Falcon is a she and is a robot. I like it.
So makes the Falcon even better. If
But
you
I
didn't
can't-
know,
I can't go there, bro, because we also have to talk about perfect, and this would be a versus, I think. Spaceships. We have not done
Yeah,
a
okay.
spaceships
yeah,
only
that's,
episode yet.
I don't know if those are even more sacred than these. Ooh, that's tough.
That
But I mean,
could
you've
be.
also got the Knight Rider, which was one of my TV shows when I was a kid.
Of course, but that's not a movie robot, so thank goodness, because we can disqualify him. I love disqualifying things.
Yeah, totally. Then there was what was the helicopter? Aerospace
Oh.
helicopter.
Is that a TV show too? Like a robot, like an intelligent helicopter?
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
Intelligent helicopter. Aerowolf.
Yeah. Airwolf. But Max is an interesting because he's a robot to me because he comes out and talks and he's an eye. Hal, I would say, is also a robot to me because he's a part of the ship. What about Mother from Alien?
Mother. I mean, I love anything with lots of switches. I mean, now I want to watch
Practical
Alien.
toggle switches.
Oh, dude, give me a toggle switch any day.
I watched Alien a couple months ago when she's trying to push those things down and
Yeah.
can't, and she's like screaming, and Mother's like just calm as a cucumber, telling her that things are gonna blow up. It is so good, bro. But I can't, because Mother is the AI inside the Nostromo.
Mm-hmm.
I and because I did not think of her as a robot, I'm gonna disqualify her for some reason. I just can't include her in my tops.
Okay. And then there's
AI
the computer.
spaceships is another episode.
Yeah. There's the computer on the Enterprise also.
Yep.
Like, computer.
Does that computer have a name? No, computer. That's just what.
computer?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Voiced by the mother of Troy. I don't know if I recommended any episodes
Hmm.
for you to watch with Troy and her mom,
No.
who is also, I believe, was Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Okay.
So, fun
All right.
fact.
Well, say hi to Troy's mom for me. All right.
All
Okay.
right,
So,
so
we
we-
just mentioned Tars and Max, both wonderful robots. Very different. I mean, Tars is kind of like, Tars is funny, but in a very kind of like dry.
Yep.
I think Tars tells or maybe it's Case tells the only joke in that particular Nolan movie. Though one of those robots gets the joke
Uh-huh.
of that Nolan movie.
Yep.
And Max is just like the personality of Max, because he's voiced by Paul Rubens, especially, is
Yep.
funny. Jokes left and right.
Yep. So, it wouldn't be the same. Flight of the Navigator wouldn't work without Max.
I agree. It would be a pretty
doesn't even
boring movie probably without Max.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so Max, Tars is top. I just loved, and unfortunately, I
love
still don't
Tars.
have a model of Tars or a Lego thing of Tars or a
And guess
toy
what? I
Tars.
thought about it too late this Christmas. I just thought about it too late. I was looking
Oh.
at Etsy way too late.
Oh, dude, that's okay. Keep it in the hopper.
It was one of those things that I woke up and I was like, Tars!
All right. Do you want me to eat a frog?
Yeah,
All of these people make me so happy. Um, you know
people.
what?
They are
Because there's
people. That's the thing. They're people.
they
They're
are.
people. These people.
I know Star Wars is gonna be
Yeah.
huge.
When do
Um,
we enter into the Star Wars universe?
I know. We'll
Because
probably
that's most of what I have left.
okay. Let me name one. I have two more that are not Star Wars.
It's not a two more. Yeah.
Not okay. Let's just say it. Jinx. I love
There he
Jinx.
is.
Jinx is from Space Camp. He looks like my grill. I
He's
have
a
a red
very
Jinx.
he's a very rudimentary robot in a different way than Tars is, in that
Right.
the production design of Jinx is so roughshod,
Totally.
which
I
is
mean, those
part
are
of the
the
beauty.
cheapest legs and wheels possible. Like,
Just could break at any moment, this guy.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It is actually interesting in one respect that they didn't have him go to space with them. Now,
Yeah, he plays the Ed Harris role, right? He stays on Earth.
he's he's the guy the boots on the ground, if you will. Um, it's like Star Wars, how it, like Return of the Jedi, how we talked about how like there's the space
Uh-huh. The
and
space
the
scenes and
you
the
know
ground scenes. Yeah.
ground scenes.
He really anchors, well, him and
Right.
Tom Skerritt, of course.
Oh, perfect hair, perfect dude.
And
Tom
the
Skerritt.
perfect pair. I mean, this is like Laurel and
Oh,
Hardy over here, right? I mean,
yep.
we're gonna talk about that again too, probably, but like Skerritt and Jinx.
I mean, I wonder if he was like, I was in Alien, I was in Top Gun, and now I'm doing this, or was this before
Yeah.
Top Gun?
I don't know. I mean, Steel
85,
Magnolias is one
86?
thing, but now you
Oh,
want
Steel
me to
Mag.
play opposite that thing? He probably saw Jinx and he was like, "What?"
See, that's the thing is like how movie magic like can make something that's super dumb look cool. Like
I don't
in
think I've
person,
ever seen behind the scenes
nope.
footage of Space Camp, but I would love to see them trying to move that stupid robot around.
Just picking it up. Okay, so
It's
he's
got to be
very
hung by
literal.
wires at some times, also, so it
Yeah.
won't break. Those
Mhm.
legs are so skinny.
Yeah, just like janky wheels. Couldn't even get over a cord,
If people don't know
probably.
what Jinx looks like, just Google Jinx Space Camp and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Like this
Yep.
guy, we love him, but I would say he's not the most expensive robot on our list.
Even though they say he's cost $20 million in the movie, right?
Stricken. I gotta strike that from that movie.
And he says swear words, which is super funny.
I mean,
And
if
Max
you can
loves
get a
him.
robot to say swear words, that is pretty funny.
Yep, that's one of the best laughs in that movie.
Uh-huh.
Also, I just feel bad for that movie because of Challenger that was that whole year. The
Yeah.
whole thing fell apart. So I bet it would have been a bigger hit.
Mm-hmm.
They brought
Jinx
John
would be
Williams
much
in,
more
at
part of
least.
the culture if it weren't for the Challenger explosion.
Right. Well,
This is
but
what we're bemoaning right now.
dang it. But thing is, okay, here's one last thing I love about Jinx.
Yeah.
Other than his one superpower is to just like lift his head with those lights. But,
Yeah.
I love that he's a deep enough cut
Uh-huh.
that he can be like my robot.
You know what? I think that's part of why you, as a 4, love Jinx so much, because you love the fact that not many people know what you're talking
Yeah.
about when you talk
Yeah.
about Jinx. He's
So it's like,
just so much
yeah.
funnier to talk about because when you use something like I don't know, one of the ones that we're going to talk about right now as a
Yep.
punchline, kind of funny.
Right.
But if you use Jinx as part of your joke, that
Yeah.
is funny crap.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
He's deep cut. Tars is like the new, because like if you were in a social circle with people that don't watch a lot of movies, they would not know who Tars is. They would not know who Jinx is.
Yeah. You would
But
have
they
to
would-
say Tars is the robot from Interstellar, and then maybe people would know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, and they might not even realize, because I kind of feel like they didn't even feature him very much. Like you have to be like us and like really want to see this stuff.
Well, yeah, and that's maybe the beauty of Tars is they leave
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
wanting more.
Totally.
He's
Even though I would
really
take-
well doled out in that movie.
Yeah. I'd take a Tars movie.
Too bad it's not Disney, or else Disney Plus already would have made a limited series Tars.
Tars.
Called
Tars in
Tars in
case.
Case.
Their origin story.
Yep. 6 episodes of how Tarzan Case fell in love.
Okay, I have one more non-Disney. Do you have any more non-Disney? Or
The
well,
only
Star Wars?
non-Disney I have left, I already said his name, and that's Johnny Five.
All right. He's on the top of my he's up here. Yep.
Johnny Five I like because he became a American citizen,
Uh-huh. Yep. the
Mac and
first-
Me style. He got all gold and turned and became an American citizen at the end of the second movie.
Yep.
I think he is. I would have said he's one of the cutest before Wally came around, and then Wally, because he looks so much like Johnny Five, kind of blows. Let me finish my sentence. Blows Johnny Five out of the water.
Right. You're like, listen,
so-
listen till the end.
Yeah. I do like. I have a lot more nostalgia for Johnny Five than a lot of the robots on this list. He was a definite, like, important robot to me when I was young.
Mm.
I saw Short Circuit 2, Ferdinand Short Circuit 2 in
Uh-huh.
German, in Vienna. One of those
Oh.
in that like very formative part of my life with my
Right,
dad.
Sehr gut. Yep.
And enjoyed it quite a bit. That movie's not very good. But what about those little Johnny Fives in Short Circuit 2?
I know. So that's that. I mean, like if you had given me a little Johnny Five that worked, actually forget that worked.
Yeah,
just
just
a
to look
toy
at. Yep.
Johnny Five, you would have blown my mind. Like if I could travel in time,
Uh-huh.
I would. That's one thing I would do is I would like put a hoodie on so that I didn't see it was me, even though I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't recognize me. I'd be like,
Yeah,
why
I
is
wonder.
the
We
guy
can
that
talk
looks like
about
my
that in
dad-
the what would you say to yourself at a younger age,
Okay.
whether or not you would recognize yourself at,
Sure.
at an older age.
But I would give me that.
Okay,
Or I
that's
would-
good. I like that.
On St. Nicholas Day, I would put it by the side of my bed the morning after. And if I woke up and saw
Yeah.
Johnny Five
Hmm.
toy, dead.
I mean, his aesthetic is incredible. And
Yeah.
I loved the concept of, is this a person or not? And we'll have
Yeah.
to save that conversation to the Android app. But
Yeah.
like, what is life like as a young boy? That it was a pretty high concept movie that I really liked thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
disassemble Stephanie. All
Yeah.
that stuff really hit me for some reason as a young boy, and I really like. And Gutenberg's great in that movie.
He's so good. Stephanie's good too.
Yeah, what's her name? I can't remember. She from Home Alone 2. She's
Right.
the-
And she was in 16 Candles?
Was
Wasn't she a John Hughes?
She might
thought
be,
she-
yeah.
I thought she
Well-
was one of the John Hughes like crew.
And now I can't remember her name. Shoot. But I think that movie's great. Johnny Five is the final robot I have on here that is not Star Wars.
All right. I love Johnny Five also.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sick day movie for me. I had it on VHS, watched it 100 times.
Who's Johnny? She said.
Yep.
Great soundtrack. Not
Yep.
score necessarily, but great soundtrack.
Yeah, who did do the score? I don't even know.
It was
Yeah,
that kind
and
of soundtrack.
I mean, and that's where we learned stat, right? Like, I need that.
Yes.
Stat.
Yep.
right?
That is where I learned that.
That guy
I love
was
it.
kind of a dork.
Mhm.
He
Well, there is also the racist
oh
Fisher
my gosh.
Stevens playing brownface that we maybe
Oh.
that can be stricken from the record, and
Yeah,
maybe
probably
why
should
we
strike
won't
that.
ever do that movie on Perfect Movie. But
I
Johnny
didn't
Five
even know that. I thought
Yeah.
I thought
Isn't
that
that
dude was
insane?
Indian.
Yes, isn't that
That's-
insane?
That's pretty bad.
It's very bad.
That's really, really bad. How
Yeah.
did they do that in the 80s still?
insane.
Huh.
Johnny
Like, did he
Five
use
though,
wearing
you're good.
makeup?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Holy smokes. I didn't know that. We've talked about that before, so I did know that, but I didn't know that before that. That's
Honestly,
wow.
when we were talking about the movie, I didn't even remember it up until I
Why didn't they
remembered it.
just get an
So
Indian dude?
because they're dumb. Okay.
Okay.
Are we
All right.
only in Star Wars
Yep.
territory
We're
now for
only in
you?
Star Wars. We're only in Star Wars. I have 3 left and
Me too.
honorable mentions,
Okay.
but these are the big boys. I mean,
They are.
they're so dumb. I mean, they're so amazing. They're so not dumb, obvious.
I see what you mean. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll just name all 3. I've got 3PO, R2, and BB-8.
Yep. I also love K2SO.
Me too. I love K2SO, and I love on the Mandalorian. Is that
Oh yeah.
K2SO? No. K2SO
No,
is no, I can't remember his name on the Mandalorian. That
but it has like a spinny head and like does that. Oh my! I
yes.
mean, dude, him at the end of season 1, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I don't want to spoil it for people because they actually may not have seen that shoot.
Well, and there's never mind. His head is also a spigot in the cantina in Galaxy's Edge.
Oh
His heads
yeah.
are those, and they look really cool. So I like him, but honestly, bro, none of these guys get close to 3PO, R2, BB-8.
Nope. Nope. You're right. We're beating around the bush. I mean, Johnny Five's cool. He can't do any of the crap R2 can do. Jinx is cool. He sucks as far as being able to do anything.
When you compare him to his um,
Yeah.
simulacrum BB-8, there's no comparison.
Totally. I mean, where's the ratchet in your hand?
In your hand.
Oh.
Here's my BB-8 Lego.
Now, how does that head attach?
Oh boy, all sorts of Lego magic is going on in here.
Oh, that's really.
I
So
don't
I
know if
never
you
made
can
that
see.
set.
Yeah, and
That
then
is so good.
there's a way to kind of turn his head and
Now, what do you think about? That's so great. What do you think about? I feel like BB-8 Lego. Sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
yucking your yum because I love it.
you're gonna say what I feel about it.
Okay, I wish they put plates, round, flat plates around him.
Yeah, he is a ball.
Uh-huh.
He is ball.
Yep.
Han
He
Solo
is
calls him
move ball.
Move
Yep.
ball. And
Hot
so that's
line.
hard to make with square Legos. But come on, Lego, you've got pieces that aren't square. I know
Why
what
didn't
you
they
mean.
put the round plates around him? They do
I
that
think
in
they
other
really
stuff.
wanted to make him look like a Lego instead of a model, and I get
Okay.
that. I actually think the Wally Lego works a lot better just because of the form.
Yeah,
This
see,
guy
he
looks
looks.
exactly like
Yep.
the movie.
Imagine having Johnny Five like that when we were kids. That is the perfect Lego set. Why is it in my closet?
Get
Ugh.
it out. He's
All right,
sad
I
in
won't.
there. Wally's
You're right.
sad.
You're right.
Now the I would say the main issue when you are stacking BB-8 against 3PO and R2 is BB-8 is what? 10 years old?
Right.
And R2 and 3PO have existed in time immemorable. Like they
Mhm.
have lived as long as we have. We have never lived in a world without these two fellows.
Right. So there's the philosophy question, when did God begin?
Right.
Like who made God, right? That's like a huge philosophy question.
Yeah, so we don't because all of my existence has included these two guys. Maybe
Uh-huh.
they've always been.
Right. Like as far as I mean, you could watch videos, but how do you know people didn't make those up?
Yep. Part of the beauty also of these two eternal men, R2 and C3PO, is they come as a pair.
Yep.
And so
They're-
it's really going to be hard to beat the pair
You're totally
of
right.
them.
Yeah. So okay, let's put the pair against BB-8 and then talk about the
Okay.
pair.
Okay, great. BB-8 is hands down my favorite thing about the sequels.
Okay, other than the score.
Nope. I like BB-8 even more than the score, and you're gonna be mad at me. But
no. Okay.
when I saw the trailer for Force Awakens, I was
Yeah.
growing obviously in excitement. Every shot they show in that trailer, they did it right. But when you
Yeah.
see BB-8 racing across that junkyard.
Yeah.
And then when you find out that's a practical effect,
Mm.
I was sold.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, I don't even care if the movie's good. We almost named Chewie BB-8 before we saw the movie.
Whoa. I'm glad
Uh,
you named him Chewie, but
me
that's
too.
amazing.
If we had named him BB, I think it would have been fine. He would, but Chewie makes a lot more sense for him. Still, my kind of adoration for BB-8, the way he's built, the way he looks, his tood, his resourcefulness, how cute he is,
Yep.
has not waned. Wait,
Yeah.
yeah, it's waxed.
It's waxed. So your love for BB-8 has waxed.
I think he's the best ever. And if he is not in this new Rey movie, I'm going to be so mad. He's got to be.
There's a Rey movie? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so there's a new Rey movie coming. Guaranteed he will be in it, right? I mean, he's the best.
Of course.
He's the best.
Is he in the final scene?
I'm sure he's in the final scene.
When they remember when they said, "What's your name?" Said just Rey. Remember?
Oh,
when
is he with her then? I think he might be with
her rose gold.
Yeah, he's with her
lightsaber?
then. He's with her.
Hmm.
It's those
Yes.
two in front of the suns.
Okay, I absolutely love it. I love that.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
No matter how I feel about anything else, especially in that last movie, every time BB-8's on screen, I'm fully locked in again.
Love it.
I feel that way about R2 and 3PO in a different way, of course, but I'm singing the praises of BB-8 right now, and I think he is it's just masterful, this guy.
Yep. I love him. Okay, then there was also the toy that came out, Sphero made. Yeah.
There he is. A much rounder toy, right?
Yep. So that's what I'm talking about. That I mean, I remember that would have been Verona Dad's Club, Hartberg or Phil Van Houten texted us. Do you remember that text?
No.
And he's like, when that toy came out, the first trailer for that toy was before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Remember we had that toy before the movie came out?
Yep, we did.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I got it for Christmas, which would have been after the movie, but I had it wrapped up under the tree before I saw the movie.
Yep.
Just figuring that my boys would want it.
Yeah, bought that for them.
Yeah, right, in quotes.
And that it just being like, wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Like that we can have that we live in a time such as this.
It's the future, right? It's one of those things where you're like, we're in the future. Yep.
So I love BB-8. I love his coloring. I love the way he looks, sounds, makes me feel.
Yep. Great guy.
But okay, so this would be the big but.
The big
is
but.
that he is our adult / our kids Star Wars guy.
Yes. Yep. And so that's nothing against him personally.
Right.
I would say even people that I've talked to that like really do not like the sequels like BB-8.
Who doesn't like BB-8?
No one I know does not like BB-8.
Yeah, he's impossible not to love.
No, they did it. They did it, bro.
I know they did. You're right. Now, what I was going to say is the broader culture. I don't know that I know anybody that doesn't at least know who C-3PO or R2-D2 are.
Right. You're right. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I still think BB-8 like is and that doesn't mean anything because my favorite Johnny or Jinx, nobody knows him. So but like I don't know that people would be like, oh yeah, that's Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Or like, is that a Star Wars robot?
Yeah. So is that a point in BB-8's favor that he hasn't oversaturated the culture in every single movie, and so when he does, which he inevitably will show up again, that is going to be such a thrill in a different way than seeing R2 again, I think is for me. I've just seen so much of R2.
I know. But
I don't
that
know, man.
the blue and gray though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how
I
about
mean,
this? At Galaxy's Edge, when I saw BB-8, I was pretty thrilled,
yeah.
and most of it was like, how are they doing that?
Uh-huh.
But then when R2 rolls up,
Yeah.
he's got a parade behind him
Oh yeah.
of adoring fans.
Okay, so you remember the story when we did a John Williams concert in Florida
Right.
Orchestra,
Yes.
and I walked into the side green room
Uh-huh.
to the side of the stage, and R2D2 was sitting in there by himself. And be still my heart, I got goosebumps and I was starstruck.
Right. It was as if you had walked into a room and Margot Robbie was sitting there.
Wait, what? Margot, what are you doing in there?
Just sitting there alone. Right. It's like a celebrity was in there. Where
Exactly.
you're like,
Ryan,
I
yeah,
cannot
if
believe you're
Tom
here
Hanks
with me.
had
Right.
been in there, I would have like it's like when you see somebody famous and you're just like, what? You know, like
Uh-huh.
something happens, and could you imagine being like that? Like famous like that?
Nope.
Who was I?
There's also this thing again. I'll talk again about Disney when you're on Star Tours and the and it opens up and actual physical 3PO is in there flying your ship.
Right. Yep.
And it there's this starstruck
Mm-hmm.
moment. And so I think I'm circling right now that if we're gonna pair these two up, R2 and 3PO, I can't not put them as my perfect robot,
Yep.
my perfect robots.
Okay, let's talk about 3PO real quick.
Okay.
Do you like him in the prequels? Don't like him in the prequels?
Yes, I like it. Whenever I see 3PO or R2, I like them. I even have come around to his kind of quippiness in the second one.
I love it. This is such a drag. I'm beside myself.
I
Every
mean,
line
that's pretty
I
good.
love.
For some reason, something shifted in me when I got older, and I'm like, those are good jokes.
Yeah, like we were mad when they came out. Like
As you
how
relax
could you?
about things, I guess, when you get older, and I was like, actually, I'm beside myself. That's pretty good. What a
Totally.
drag.
This is such a drag. I mean, his voice does get higher and a little bit more pinched.
Yeah,
And I was gonna say a little desperate because he'll do anything.
that's
do,
true.
do you know what I mean?
He's kind of like desperate to impress. I mean,
No. I mean,
he,
I was not. This is not a dig because imagine the one thing you get to be is C-3PO.
yeah.
I'm just saying Anthony Daniels is the one dude that will do anything.
You're right.
Be in any show.
I
Be in
mean,
any like.
case
We
in
do another
point,
one. Get the gang back together.
Christmas in the Stars.
You're right. Yeah.
I think he was even in that Donnie and Marie horrible Star Wars skit. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
We gotta watch that next year.
Okay.
Uh, I like him. I even like him. Now, this is the real litmus test. I even like him in Last or Rise of Skywalker. I like when he says, "I'm fine too." Remember when like I'm
Yeah.
all right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah. That was a good line. That was a good
yeah,
line. I
great
thought.
line. I like in Force Awakens when he says, "You probably didn't notice my red arm." Like all that stuff is
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
He's funny.
Totally
That
agree.
guy's so funny.
Uh-huh.
And R2, even though he can't understand what he's saying, is also friggin' hilarious.
He's got the tood. He's sassy.
He's got
the
tood.
probe.
He's got the tood. And the
Um,
probe. Perfect combo. A tood and a probe.
but I mean, I love him with Yoda.
Yep.
Right? Perfect scene. Him and Yoda. Mine, or I will help you not. You know?
When he starts banging him with that stick. Now,
Love.
if we were going to pit these two against each other,
Mm.
R2 and 3PO, which would you choose? I know mine.
Okay. I love the non-anxious presence that is R2D2.
Even though he's got a tood?
Oh, yeah, he would probably tell me to put bacon bits in my Zuppa Discana.
Not bacon bits.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon, sorry. Bacos.
No,
Rehydrated.
bacon where the O is an
Yeah, yeah.
apostrophe instead.
Yeah, Baco.
Um,
I'm just kidding.
uh,
Yeah, I see the Tood. Yeah, that could sometimes be irritating.
I mean, I'm
But he
just playing
doesn't have a.
devil's advocate. I like R2
Yeah.
better.
Okay. Yeah, he never has a Tood towards Luke though.
Mm-mm.
It's really
They
only
love
to
each other.
C-3PO, right?
Yeah, and he's like and then in the sequels when he becomes this kind of like sage, almost
Right?
like he is so much bigger than BB-8, which you don't notice when it's just BB-8 on his own.
Oh, is
But
he really?
R2 is quite a he's like he towers over BB-8. He's twice as
Huh.
tall.
Huh.
Um, and so
Yeah.
he is kind of like this father figure almost to BB-8 in that moment
Yeah.
when he gets turned
Yep.
on.
Oh, I love it when they pull the
Yep.
the sheet over and there he
Mhm.
is. That was goosebump on goosebump.
Yep. So I think I'm gonna just say I think my favorite movie robot is R2D2.
All right, dude. I will concur. Let's put him
Wow,
on the let's do it. 100%.
great,
I mean, R2D2 is the greatest movie robot.
we did it.
His
Everybody,
Ben
we did
Burt
it.
completely
Yep.
you know, like Ben Burt with the vocalizer
Mm-hmm.
thing, doing all of his sounds. Beep, 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 you know.
His kind of like one piece-ness, do you know what I mean? Is funny
Yep.
because he can when he falls down or when he like
Yep.
when he kind of like scooches around.
Yep.
Um, he looks like a trash can that we have in our kitchen. He's a
Uh-huh.
great guy. I
Do
love
you like it
R2
when he
and he's the perfect
flies?
robot.
Do you like the kind of stuff that
Mm,
doesn't make sense about the prequels
mm,
about him?
mm, mm. I guess I do. I guess I do like it.
All right. Why not? It's one of those things of like why wasn't Darth Vader more strong in the Force and could just find that emotions chip
Here's
or
what I don't like
the
about it. Okay,
plans?
here's what I don't like it about it is that in those moments he's CGI.
Ah,
I
okay. Yep. Yep.
far prefer seeing, like I said, the work that it takes to keep him upright.
Okay.
You
Yep.
know?
You know there's
know,
production
and
designers
knowing
and
there's a guy inside for
yeah.
what reason, I don't know.
In the Tunisian desert must have been so friggin' hot, dude.
Yes, I will just say, Pat sent me this because he loves me. It's a signed R2D2 card, signed by Jimmy V, who's inside of him.
Oh, that's sinking awesome.
Yep. So
Wow.
authentic autograph R2 card.
Oh
So
man.
he's on display. I mean, obviously, I have a lot of robots on display in my office, but R2D2 also. I love him. He's my favorite. He's the perfect movie robot.
I agree. I need a toy R2 of some sort, small. I want
Yep.
an R2 that's this size. One of these little guys.
Oh, yeah. There probably are, right? I
Yeah.
wonder. Okay. All right, everybody. We did it. Perfect robot.
We did it.
R2D2, star of Star Wars. The star. He should be top billed.
Take the blue one. Try the blue one. Right? Remember like there's a fork in the road where we never know about R2. If that red guy worked.
Oh, if that red guy worked, it would have been a short series because they never would have defeated the Death Star without R2.
Yep. And I don't like the way those square top ones look. I never
Mm-mm.
liked that.
No. The flat tops?
Yeah. No offense, dudes, but
No.
R2
It's
rules.
just I probably would if R2 didn't exist. But then when you see R2, you're
Yep.
like, "Hey, that's my boy." All right.
Yep.
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye. Great.
All right, let's stop that. 1, 2, 3, stop. Oh man, dude, I'm sorry we went so long.
Oh boy. I don't know. Can we do 10 minutes of double Big
Oh
Mac
yeah,
chat?
absolutely.
Great. And then I do gotta go.
Okay, I'm sorry, whoever your next
Okay.
client is or whatever. Okay, Big Mac, double Big Mac AG side. Hold on. Let me just make sure I saved that. Yeah, saved. No. Save
Okay, and you need
as.
to send me that one, and I need to send you the Impress one.
Yep.
And then you need to send me this one.
Yep.
Oh, bye everybody.